So, good evening, everyone. Hopefully, my music is on. But in any case, welcome. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my stream. My name is Fani Reinders, and I do live coding for you folks over there. And also, coding is awesome. I also like to teach people how to code, and also my practical experience I have before. I like to pay it forward, but also in turn. Learn from my mistakes, and also we can together build awesome things. So first of all, happy Thanksgiving to all my friends in the US and all the related people that's celebrating Thanksgiving today. Hope you have a nice full tummy, and hopefully you can join me that we can have a big party. Let's quickly see who is in the chat today. We have Gerald Verschlees. Welcome, Gerald. Welcome to the show. We've got Code Stencil like always. Greetings. How are you doing? And then also would like to give a big shout out to my recent followers. Sarah Rain. Do I say that correctly? Essa Rain, I think, 2 days ago. Thank you very much for the follow. Morgoth2356, thank you so much for the follow. And Toff, the latest follow 22 hours ago. Thank you so much for that. That is awesome stuff. So today on the agenda, we're going to be continuing. I had this crazy idea that we're going to be building a closed captioning service. That's also still on the table, but we have had this debate on our previous episode earlier today on the SDN Cast, which is the weekly webcast we have about kind of a real-time closed captioning, and it's kind of fun to build. There is plenty of services out there that does that for you, and I thought, well, it would have been quite cool to build something in the stream. We can still do that, or we can continue building our job card app. So it's up to you folks to decide. So if you have any questions, any concerns, or any comments that how we can sort of streamline this experience for all our guys out there, let me know here. Or if you don't want to chat along, I am on Twitter, so you can go on at Fani Reinders, Fanie. And let me know there. My DMs should be open. If it's not, just ping me, and then we can have a conversation. And if you want to learn coding, I can also most probably point you to the right direction. And I certainly know the best people that can help you in a job. For instance, mobile applications. If you want to do mobile applications, best person to talk to is Gerald Verschlees. He is working for Microsoft currently, but he is part of the Xamarin team, so he'd be happy to help out. Just reach out to JF Verschlees on Twitter, so he'll be happy to help. Without any further ado, let me get the show going. So, I think my music has decided to drop off, but I think it's there now. My monitor has crashed. In any case, this is Asteroid Belt by Viking Guitar. So the songs will change as we move on, and down below you would see the song name that's playing right now. If you would like me to change the song, just ping me, and then we can talk about it. I don't know what you guys like, so this is what I like normally, and then we can see. So furthermore, if you just joined us, welcome to the show. Every day or every week, I try to do like twice a week, maybe once a week, a stream. And of course, if it's not possible, life happens. And yeah, so what we've been building so far, if you've just joined us and actually want to know more, we are busy doing a legacy application. Refactoring a legacy application that was built about 13 years ago, using VB.NET. And it's horrible code, I must say. If you look back at your own code, it's always horrible. But it's fun to look at, because then you see all your mistakes and the ways you could have fixed it. And I always say, this type of code is proper enterprise code. So it's not a big application, but it's a kind of application that's a real application. Someone is really using this, V1 currently. But it's good to look at, because it's real stuff, and how we can use real stuff, refactor it, implement modular and more modern constructs in this code to make it better, and maybe learn from it as well. And together we can maybe move forward to a V2. So I've open sourced this code already in the previous episode. You guys can go look at the source code going to the GitHub page I'm going to be putting up soon. Just want to see if I can find it quickly. I think it's this one. Yeah, that's that one. So I'm just want to make sure it's that one. Put it on the... that should be this one. So if you guys want to follow along, please do so. So you will find the source code into the source file. Let me quickly share my screen, actually, to show you what I mean. Yeah, so this is the repo. You want to be going into the current set of things, and this is the current version that we now currently kind of morphing into a more modern stack. To give you some more advice on how it did look, for instance, I don't have... this is the kind of a shell. So we have or the spec rather. We have a shell, and then we have some company information. We have a kind of a customer's CRUD. We have business and private customers. The company information is your account per se, and that includes your user management and your general settings. So we could implement nice things there later on Azure to do that. Then you have job management, which is a kind of a module in that. You can filter for jobs, you can create, update, remove jobs. You can do some reporting, there's some searching, and it supports multi-tenancy. So this is a kind of a raw spec on what it's doing right now, and the idea that we keep to this spec as much as possible. So what we've done so far, it's not completely done yet, because we obviously have some issues as we move on plugging these blocks together. It goes slowly, I must say, but nothing is chasing us. We're just having fun, we're learning. And I must say, the past 5 episodes or so, I've been learning a lot about Azure AD and how to connect it to a WinForms application, because in fact it stays a WinForms application for now, but it's running on .NET Core, and that allows us to make use of all the performance characteristics of the framework. So that's the reason why it's kind of .NET Core. To go directly from WinForms to a web app per se would require a complete rewrite, and what's the fun in that? I'd like to dive into code, find pieces of pieces of code and make it better, make it so that we have value as we move on. We don't want to delete code as much in the stream, because in real life you seldom get time to rewrite something in greenfield. That's always the best, but brownfield is 99% of the time. It's kind of your baby, right? So deal with it. Yeah, so that's in. Just want to see if I've got some screenshots here actually. So there's a screenshot of the actual company. There's your account. Looks like that, for instance. Then the company users, for instance, we've implemented the company users now in on Azure, so it's still there. What we actually can start doing is we can maybe start doing kind of a sort of a project management on this. Maybe make a GitHub projects thing with tickets and stuff, and maybe work on one ticket per stream. That's maybe an idea. Just so you guys can go check here on how this is implemented. So the logon, that's how this is the old login screen, how it used to work, where you have a user and you have a password, right? The new version, I'll give you a demo now in a second, works with Azure AD. So it actually opens up Azure AD and it sort of logs you in, and you in there. Let me actually run it and see if this works. So in quick hindsight, it's a WinForms application, so it will start up WinForms. For some reason it's not working. What's happening? What is happening? Let's stop it and see. Oh, you know what? It's taking so much time because I've turned on. Yeah, I've turned on the debugging, so it's kind of trying to debug. Let's see, debugging, enable. I can remove the debugging symbols. Okay, that's fine. Where's my just my code? Somebody must be adjust. Enable just my code. Do that. Okay, now it's faster. Otherwise, it tries to. I know why that didn't work. Anyway, so this is the application. Obviously, I'm missing some icons, but nevertheless, when you connect now, it opens up the logging page. So the idea is that if we click back, that's the bug we still need to kind of sort out. So let's see, if we run this again, connect. Okay, it's a brief Google page because of the component. And if I log in with Joe and I go to his password, it kind of logs in, but it doesn't do anything. So we have a bug. Before it had a pop-up screen that it pops up, and that worked quite well. But I figured my strategy with this is using this this frame. It's a like web view frame, for instance. I used that as the beginning of weaponizing this WinForms thing, because later on we will be completely web-based, maybe running Blazor or whatever, and then it will just be a shell, and then you can easily like host this anywhere you want. So yeah, the thing is, it's not doing what's supposed to doing, but you get the idea. And I think we're going to be spending some time again to see why this is working and why it's not working, in fact, and how we can make it better. I don't think I've actually checked this into source control. So let's see. So how this is working, actually, we are working on a host. So we have a startup file. Oh, Jan Dev, thank you so much for the follow, sir. That's amazing. Here's a Capigen just for you, Jan. Thank you so much. It's always fun to share. Oh, by the way, you guys should check out Jan is hosting a 4.net cast, actually. Let me just actually open that. Thank you. I actually wanted to mention that in our webcast earlier. It was on Twitter, I think. Twitter. I have no idea what that URL was. This is the meetups, blah blah blah, notifications. Where was this now again? Boom, 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 boom. I think Jan maybe. Jan de Vries. There we go. They have a SDN. They have a SDN, oh, not SDN. They have a 4.net cast. So go check that out. This is episode number 5. And they talk about F# in this episode. So do check that out. It's quite cool. Yes. So all right. So back to the code. Back to the stream. So yet again, thanks Jan for sharing. Okay. So when we configure our application, we could most probably use an iStartup thing for this, but we have an application runtime that we register, and when the application exits, I want to stop my application. That's because what it's doing, it's starting up a web host, and within the web host, it's running my WinForms application. So it's actually other way around now. It's web first, and then because I exposed this auth path, right? So it's web first, and then it just happens to start on my Windows application. So I hope to get rid of this piece later on. But for now, it's still WinForms, which is fine, you know. So we can debug this to see what is happening here. Azure Custom Web UI close window. There's this then. Okay, that's send message to close. Okay, that closes that, so that's not supposed to happen. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so let's see, maybe because this was a pop-up window before, and I wanted to automatically close the pop-up window. But it's not needed to be closed now. I think it's needed to redirect maybe. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna log in. It's not working though, so something is still a bit iffy. It's not even going to the right place. Not even coming here. And I wonder if my local host is actually running. Yeah, that's actually, it's working. Yeah. So that's actually turning okay. So my web server is running. That's fine. But this guy is not. What can be the problem? And I wonder what is the problem here, because how can we debug this? So maybe it's an Azure thing. Okay, so let's go to the Active Directory of, I think it's not that one, it's supposed to be the directory of the, which one was it here? The job card company. App registrations, job card app. let's see, we have authentication. Okay, so now it's mobile and desktop. So maybe we should just say web and make that kill these ones. Will this work? So we actually should also put in on a kind of a backwards and forwards button to this browser control. So let's see what happens. Oops. Boom, 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 boom. Still hangs though. It's as if it's not kind of doing its thing. Okay. So we have this Azure form here. And when it initializes, we do this kind of thing. And we can actually just put this here because it's really not a need for it to put it there. Oops. Put that way. WebView.WebView. That should be fine. Somewhere here is a problem. Code stencil, you are right. It must be tough debugging the Azure AD side. So yeah, that's the thing. So it's kind of loading, but you don't know what it's doing. And it's interesting because how do we debug this? I right click, that happens. I can't press F12 because it's not part of, maybe it's a setting. Maybe it is a setting. So if we say, it's actually, we've created this custom web view module. Let me say show body form is that. So we have got a different one. We can use this, just basically invokes your screen. So that, navigate that. I see. So this, I think this actually, we need to await here something. I think we need to wait for something to return. So let's see what happens here. So it will break there most probably because it doesn't wait for anything. Let's see. If I open up my page. Okay, so it's already out of the process. It's not waiting, so it should actually stop here. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be doing a while true, just to sort of see if we can look here on and see what happens. Okay, so that's working. And that's still on Azure side, so that's not doing anything. And I think Azure is trying to is it possible to check the Azure log here? You mean like the sign-ins or what? Because he has a bunch of sign-ins, and today I do not have access. Why not? Because I'm probably should have access. Why don't I have access? I'm on the free. Okay. But somewhere I must be able to, yeah, monitor sign-ins. I don't have, what? Provision logs. And that's provision logs, order logs. Oh, that's not that logs here. I don't have access to it. See, it's it's connected to your Azure subscription. So yeah, that's kind of sad, because that's not really what I want to see. So why is this thing not redirecting? So what we can do is, instead of doing that, we can say show form, right? And then we can say give it that. And under the hood, it will just maybe show dialog. So that will automatically wait whatever is waiting. So let's see if this works. Okay, now that is also a thing. So what we can do is we can do that other trick we've learned previously. So if, what is it called? Invoke required or something. Invoke required. Then we can just say how was it again? It was this titled invoke. Okay. So this is quite cool. So what we can say is we can do a void run in here. That's like sub functions. I'm gonna put it in there. Okay. We can just call run. Oops. What am I doing? What am I doing? We should be able to call run here, right? Why not? Because that's legitimate, right? That will work. So when we get here, it will run this guy, right? But if we get here, we can't just run it, because that's kind of besides the point. So what we can do is this dot invoke. What's my telesense is not working? Maybe that's the problem. Title.invoke. In any case, form.invoke. And then we say run. Something is up. Okay, cool. You just go do that, and then that will work. Come on. That's a new action. Okay, fine. New action, and then say run. That you can also do. That's perfectly fine. So now when we run it, it will then be invoked from like it's cross-thread, so it will work. Okay, that's still doesn't work. Okay, so this is not what we want. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens here. So click there. Form is invoke. Is invoke required false. Now why is that so? Okay, so it's going there. It's not supposed to be doing. So let's maybe assume that it's always required. Let's see, maybe we can cheat the system a bit, you know? Cannot be called on a control until the window handle has been created. Okay. Fine. then cancel all these things and go back where we started. Yeah. How would we know? Azure Form. Let's maybe stop it here to see what happens. Invoke required. It's false. Okay, interesting. So body form works. Because body form is now looking at the title that we pass in. Okay, so maybe we can maybe go on to main form maybe. Just want to see something. So we put a breakpoint there. Click there, connect, and it will break there. So here, main form. Come on, where's my intelligence? Is invoke required? Yeah, timed out. Let's try again. Let us try again. So it's kind of, that's okay, that's not what we want, but fine. Why don't we have time? There we go. This thing times out. Okay, that's weird. Maybe if we... Oh, you know what? Because body form has a while. Doesn't it? Something is fishy here on this code. Definitely. Because I can go, for instance, if this dot main form invoke required, for instance, and see if this happens. So then we can go Azure Form dot show dialog, or this dot main form dot invoke new action, and we say this is something that we want to invoke, and it looks like that. Another bracket. I wonder if this will actually do the trick, do the thing. Okay, so now see, look, that pops up. Okay, this is cool. So it pops up this form. But it's a dialogue, right? So it's not doing anything. I wonder. Let's see what happens now. So something is dodgy. Okay, so first of all, this while shouldn't be there. Maybe we should move this guy in here, like so. Get rid of the pink. There we go. Okay, so now let's see. Wow, I've got 1,000 views. Just want to celebrate that with a cappuccino. But I've got 97 followers. So I hope I can get 100 followers by the end of the stream. Is that setting the bar a bit high or not? 97 followers. Can I get more 3 followers? Just 3. 1, 2, 3. To make it a round number. How about that? Go tell your friends. See, that works. We'll do that. That posts, but it doesn't post to anywhere. And what I could see it's interesting. Why does this not work properly? Because this is now a proper pop-up page. It's still doing the same thing. Aha. Now it's saying callback URL, which is that one. Okay, so callback URL is null. I see, so the callback URL needs to be set. Do we need to do that? Yeah, we need to redirect URL. We need to do something to it. Because that's auth. Jan de Vries, yes, you need to specify it yourself. No, that is a very vague statement. Okay, so interesting. Yes, I did specify that. Code Stencil, thank you so much for stopping by. We'll see you again later. So yeah, Jan, to answer your question, I did specify this, and I think I've specified it here somewhere on the auth. It's here on the messy main. The messy main class, no, not that one, code. I have a function here called Azure AD, and we should actually split this up. So here I have that specified. Excuse me. So I have that specified already, so it goes to that URI. But I'm actually wondering if we shouldn't do that because of HTTPS constraints. Yes, so you've probably missed this. This is an ASP.NET Core host, or a web host rather, not an ASP.NET Core host. It's a web host that's spawning up a Windows Forms application. Previously it was just a Windows Form, so I've kind of made a host now first class as web, and then when it starts up, it's a web server, right? So it's just localhost. But then when it starts up, it just happens to start up this WinForms thing. So that's kind of how this works. This is crucial for moving forward though, because we're going to be using this host to port our pages to. Okay, so I'm going to be getting back to the application registrations. Looks like no one wants to follow me. Sad panda. It's fine. I'll probably get my 3 followers later. Authentication. Yeah, so I'm gonna actually oops, post back to HTTPS there, just to see if I get a different result. Because I think HTS, what's that, HSTS or whatever, is on by default, so it's redirecting to HTTPS, and that has a problem. Also not working. So something is stuck here for some reason. So I think what we can do, pig9117, password 1234. Wow. Darn it. I need to change my password now. Welcome to the show. Okay, so what do we have? Azure Public. Do I need anything here? Because it doesn't look like it. Yeah. Jan says, can you grant the app user read all in the Azure Graph? I think it's also mandatory. No, that's not, because this used to work. And then I've sort of messed around with the custom UI and it stopped working. So that's kind of where I ended up with. So it's somewhere here, it's kind of doing its thing. So I need to figure out where is that working. So it invokes it, it navigates to it, and then, so here's the story. So what happens, it navigates to it, and then it shows a dialog. So that then it sort of, it's like it's doing now. It's waiting. But as long as then Azure does its thing, you go through the pages, and then I can put a breakpoint here, for instance, whatever it runs. Then Azure will post or will redirect to this endpoint, auth. And it should set the callback URI. It's a static or a singleton value of my value I get. And it just shows OK. And then I can close the window. And then it should work fine, but it's not even getting in here for some reason. It's not even getting in here, so I can prove that it's working. So Jan, what is the authorization URL? Does it have a redirect in the query string? So the authorization URI is the URI that it's going to. It's this logging URI. So I'm just simply taking the browser and say, go to this place. Azure sort of generates that, or this component generates it. So let's try out password 123 again. So here it's when it goes a bit south, because it's not doing, I would have expected it goes to localhost, this at least. And it's not. So maybe there's something else wrong. So it should have a redirect in the query string. We can check that. But I think I'm missing something, a crucial step. So maybe do that. This was as public client. Save, and this can't be public client, can it? Just want to see what happens when I do that. Still not. I'm expecting it to redirect. Okay, so let's capture this. Let's say we're on here. And before we do that, we want to be saying let's put on a text box just to for the there, for instance. And I think we could say text box 1.z order. What is it called? Order. So I need some because what I want to do is I want to copy that. Can I? Oh, that's cool. Maybe I can do that. Copy in C#. Can I do that? Access clipboard C#. Clipboard get text. Cool. Clipboard set text. I will just use this. This is not core, is it? It is. Look at that. So let's do this. Clipboard not set text, and we say no, not there. Let's do that. URL. So now every time I go to this login page, it should maybe we should change the songs. Let's go maybe to a bit to chill. So this is Radial Lock by Big Giant Circles. Okay, so okay, we have that. That is cool. Okay, so now it navigates. Hopefully, there. So let's investigate this. We have the login part, which is authorize, scope, member, read all, offline access, all those kind of things that we need. There's the client ID, there's the redirect ID. So Jan, to answer your question, I think this is what you mean, right? So it's redirecting here. So that's fine. That's encoded, right? So it's HTTPS. Localhost 5001 auth. Client ID. Client is MSL Netcore. Prompt select account challenge. That's fine. So why is it not working? Because it is definitely working if we use web window. I can tell you that. So commenting this out for now. If we say, so web windows by Steve Sanderson, if I'm not mistaken, it's a NuGet package to run Chromium based things. So we can say var login as new web window. So do I still have it in here? Yes, that's fine. Give it a title like login or whatever. Okay. So we can say login dot navigate to URL, and this is the authorization URI dot string. So I suggest my bug is somewhere simple, and then you could say login.show form and login.wait for exit. So this is essentially the same that we're doing now. So there are different implementation. So this custom web UI is now using something else. So get this is not actually working. When I click there, it opens up the same thing but using web UI. I suppose we can use this for now, but in fact, look, boom, that works. So why is that working and the other way not? Just kind of authenticating twice. Then we exit. The callback URI is that. It includes the token, as you can see. And as you log in, you're logged into your job card company. So that works. My question is, why does the other one not work? So somewhere it's kind of failing. So any tips would be great. So again, let's go see if we let's do this again. So it navigates to that string. Okay, so let's do this. Maybe there's a bug. Okay, I'm going to sign out. Will that work? Okay. It automatically signs me in now because of the cache. So for the folks that's watching and that has the same problem, it's not really a problem, it's just reading a token from the cache. What it does, it saves the cache in this bin file. You could just go to the file. It is called, I can find it, I think it should be not there, in the bin directory. Debug, that should be here. This MSL cache bin 3, just remove that one. That's the token. Token is in there. Okay, so now let's try this again. And then it will open up this stuff again. So, so we navigate. Everything looks fine. There's no errors here, right? Maybe we can hook onto events. Maybe there's some kind of JavaScript or something. Some error happening. Because this happens. And that's not supposed to happen. Okay, so I think what we can do is we can go in here. Oh, that's a designer. This one. Let's see if we can find some events. So webview dot, which events are here? So background change, binding, courses validation change, users, change UI queues. Oops. Go to events again. So guys, hello, thank you very much. If you just joined us, welcome. We are struggling to see if we can get this Azure AD working with WinForms. Using our special little web browser control. So come in, stick in, stay here. Say hello on the chat here. So content loading. Context menu change. Oh, okay. Control edit. Control removed. Cursor changed. Disposed. Dock changed. DOM content loaded. DPI change. Drag drop. Enabled. Change. Inter font changed. So many things. Got focus. Invalidated. Key down. Leave. Navigation. Okay, so navigation completed. So actually I tend to maybe, let's see if we can do that. And navigation completed. And see if we can get another one working here. Just to see what is it that we are doing. Because I'm just going to put a breakpoint in there just to understand what is going wrong. Okay, that navigates. We're going to the first one, second one. That's fine. This is still, I suppose, not navigating. Navigation is starting, so it's working. And it's navigating to the common login. Okay. Still navigating to that. Aha. So now it's navigating to this. Interesting. So it's doing its thing. Okay. It's like it's there, but it's not really returning anything. So what we can do, we can hook on here. That can be a major hack. We can hook onto this event here to but it's never completed, right? So why is that? So let's see, maybe there's an error. Web view dot. Let's see. Validated, unable to view today, unsupported URI schema. There's no error. Unviewable content identified. Do you think that can be something? Maybe it's something. Maybe you need to specify. Okay, cool, completed. That one at the password. Starting again. It's not doing anything. So it's okay. So it's definitely doing two navigations. What's this update? Maybe that's the thing. Doesn't redraw. So you can try that maybe. Client web view. update maybe. I'm just like spitballing here. You see what happens. Let's see what happens. We want the UI to update. It's not even getting there, I think. Oops, back. That's supposed to happen. That's fine. That one. It's not working. E.cancel. Okay, I'm going to try something radical now. I'm going to see if the URI, because I think it goes there, okay, logs in, it's completed. That's the first one, so look at the URI. So the URI is login. So what we'll do, that never completes, and now the next one is that. So let's try this. If e.uri to string is that, see e.cancel. True. So I hope this will work though. Okay, so that thing goes there. Does it even go in there? I don't think so. Okay, so cancel is false. Now cancel is true. What is the URL? Oh, that's the URI. Okay, and then so it just stops there. So Jan says, is it possible to hook up Fodler on this app? Multiple redirects is expected, but you're not getting the correct results in the view, it seems. So the problem that I see is that if I do this and I put my breakpoint there on the navigation starting and on navigation completed. So I expect for every page view that I get a starting and completed. But for some reason I get a for the when it's authenticated, I get a starting and another starting, but never a completed. But the first starting is some common endpoint, and the second starting is that token. So we could grab the token here even, if it contains that URL. That's also an idea, but that's a bit, I don't know, it seems a bit dodgy to me. But that works. So we're here, we log in. So that's the first starting. 85, this is the second starting. There's the token. So what we could do, at least for this, it's weird because this is not even getting into this application. should be actually invoking this this thing here. So maybe I don't even need this. Okay, so what we can do is we can just take this out for now. This is on the here. So I know it's a bit ugly, but let's just see. If the URI if the host is localhost, do we know it's probably a local call, but if your i.toString, let's maybe say that, starts with, that's maybe better. Auth. I think this is much better. Okay, so what's happening here? So a long shot, but that might be because the first page is doing a hard redirect without waiting for the end first request. So it might cause the completed event newer hit. So I have no idea, but it works on WebView. So maybe this browser is a bit dumb to figure this out. So we can say, maybe with that little else operator there, will that work? Maybe toString. Oh, fine. If toString behavior of so could maybe cause local call settings to call into the okay. String comparison should always be ordinal ignore case. I think that's the fastest. So now we can paste these things in here. We're not going to do any wait stuff. And we're going to close the window. We're just going to say URI. Or e.uri rather. e.uri. toString. Or actually e.uri. Can also work, right? So let's see if that works in action. So connect. So opens up that, which is fine. Yes. We log in. Come on. Really? Okay. Let's try this again. And this again. Connect. Oh, now it's gone. What? That's singleton, huh? That's why. Okay, so URI is not that, so that's fine. Click there. URI is not that. But the URI now is something. Oh, the window login handle is nothing, so okay. Hey. This is HTTPS. Maybe I should just change it back to HTTP. That could be also part of the problem. But it was like this. Let's see what happens again. Maybe this works. Maybe I'm missing something. Okay, so that's working. That's working. Okay, password is incorrect, so we'll just do that. Do that. Okay, so it's not working. So it's something to do with the browser. I think the browser is not really that clever to pick up all these kind of events. But this should work now. Okay, so this is interesting. The reply URL. Maybe that's the issue that we get now, underlyingly. That's why I cannot. The reply URL specified in the request does not match the reply URLs configured for the application. Okay, that's a win. But shouldn't we also add some other? Just want to see something. If I save this as web, will this do the same thing? That's the issue now. I have to cancel this whole thing. Okay, click there, go in. Let's see. Okay, so what is this problem? The reply URL in the request does not match the reply URL's configured application. Well, it does, because this. That's the reply URL. And that's what we said. Ah, okay. There's our problem, number one. So I'm just gonna maybe try this again without focusing too much, because I don't really like this way of doing things. If it's a short-term hack, it's fine. But I think it's jointly because of the component. I don't know. Why is WebView working but this is not working? Cannot wrap my head around it. Okay, so it's definitely not working. So let's put this back. Now it should work. Come on. Should close the window at least. It was working in a second. Now it's gone. Can you believe it? Alright, is that? Okay, so what is it now? That's fine, right? I expect it to go in here, so callback URI is that. Okay, so it cannot close the window because it does not know the handle. What we can do is we can just, instead of saying this, we can say this.close. To make it close. Don't need to send a message. So, attempt number 600. Really? Okay, that works. It signed me in, I guess. But it never... It doesn't even... What? I'm a bit lost. So it also might be that it is see, it's executing this, but it's not, it's continuing. I think that's where the problem comes in. Whereby this waits for exit. The other one does not wait for exit. Okay. Because if I run this again, it will continue to this task. Okay, wait. This happens. Okay. Am I logged in or what? Because how do I know if I'm logged in? I don't do anything with the result though. I have to cancel this whole thing again. Let's try again. The result is never returned though. So why is it's not even getting to that point? Will this work? I mean, it could. Come on. So something with threading. I think it's the long and the short of this problem. Because somehow it's not doing exactly what we want. Maybe configure wait. Pause. I don't know what I'm doing. Just trying out some stuff. Okay, if this is not working, I'm just going to go for the web window for the login because that seems to work. That just closes the form. Okay, so it's not even coming back here again. Maybe because of this. Okay. So, any case, so what we'll do is we will add these guys back. Because this works. Then we'll have two, what do we call it? Two ways for web views, which is fine. Zul, thank you so much for joining. You're asking, should one learn Emacs or using the normal IDE is enough? Emacs, I am the wrong person to ask about Emacs. But you could ask me some .NET or Visual Studio questions. So unfortunately, I'm not that person of Emacs, but thank you for the question. Cannot help you there, sorry. Okay, so this will work. We'll pop up the window. The only thing I don't like about this is because I must probably give it. So that's that window. That's fine. The auth state is running. It's okay. Hey. Interesting, there's a bug here. Wasn't it supposed to? What was supposed to close my window? The handle. But let's try this. So go here, refresh. Okay. That's it. It gives you that, and the handle is that. Login window handle. Okay, so we forgot to set the login window handle, and I think we set it here somewhere. I think it's actually, what's this show? Application state dot, not apartment state, come on. Application state dot login window handle is login.hwin. I think we're missing that little guy over there. That should be fine. Okay, so that works. And that works. Great, so we are in. But it's still not showing me my username now again, because it just worked. That is strange. Jan, thank you so much for stopping by. Speak to you again. Have a good night. Okay, so for some reason I have the same problem. Oh, that is not. Let's see if that works if we add configure weight in there. Oh, by the way, do I do anything with the result? Because the result... Yes. I do a bunch of things actually. Not even getting in there. Okay, so it's kind of failing. Why did it work just now? It's as if there's a problem. Maybe what we should do is undo. Wait, before I do that. Do not make any harsh decisions. Let's copy this for now. I think what we should do is just undo, because I've done some things that I don't think will work though. Okay, so that goes there. Okay, back to the problem we came with. Okay, fine. So we're not using that method, we are using this method. Okay, so let's see. That pops up. Okay, this normally happens when there's a problem. Some exception is happening, yeah, I suppose. So just want to follow my gut. So if we can go put this in a kind of a put this whole thing actually in a try. I think somewhere it's let's see. Okay, so there. Alright, so the wrong application, public or confidential, is being used with authentication fault potential. Redirect. Okay, so I know that the problem there is, and I think this should be that. Save. Okay. Let's try again. And I think we need a different authentication mechanism. Okay, so we're missing maybe. Okay. Here's the problem. Let's open up this website and see what we get. If you receive this following message, it means that you have not specifically enabled a public client in Azure Portal attempting to do authentication flow that is only available for public clients such as username, password, integrated auth, and device flow auth. But oh, look, that's that URL that we give. There's also the public clients. Maybe. The resource owner, password credential, device flow. Okay, what's this? Is this new? Determines if the application's client type in the user flow that do not use redirect URLs. Let's first save this. I think retry again to see what happens. So maybe if this works, we'll jump back into the other way. There we go, that works. Okay, so that works. So now let's see if we go back here and, you know, try this again this way. Question is, will it work? We're gonna make it work, man. Fine, let's sign out. We need to also make it delete this file, which is this one there. Okay. Click connect. Exception, fine. That's an exception, interesting. So it threw an exception there. Wait a sec. Okay, so that works. Opens up. Okay. Interesting. Now going back to our login form. Web view. I think it's navigation starting or something, right? We can say if the e.uri starts to string starts with HTTP localhost 5000 or something, auth, then you could say application state dot callback URI or maybe do this. We say prop bool exit done. Just wanna see something. So here we can say this dot done is true. Okay. Then we can also say that application state dot authorization callback URI is this e.uri. There. In here we can say if Azure login form dot done while not. So it's going to keep on looping until it's done, and if it's done it triggers the rest of the flow. So let's see, hope for the best. And it should have triggered already. Maybe something else is wrong here. I'm gonna restart it to see. That's fine. What's this then? Okay, that's the first one. Hey, I need something like this. So we need to say string comparison ignore case. Okay, now it should work. Take it off. Come now. What? Ah, misspelled it. Can't believe it. Localhost. Can you believe I misspelled localhost? Let's try again, one more time. I'm signed in. What? Boom. That's how you sign in, man. So now signed in. My information. it'll crash. But the idea is that I'm signed in using the normal web view. So we have this, we log in, done. We can go sign out. We can go delete the file. If we connect, it will go here. I like to use this view because there's no modals popping up, nothing. So we can click on this one. We can even do the wrong password. But then when we do that, it sort of intercepts it. Which is fine. So we don't need a server now, but later we will, because we would be able to open up like there's a customer, then there's the job cards. My information is because the system user thing we need to still implement. Okay, but I'm glad it's working now. I'm glad it's working now. I'm actually gonna do like I don't really like the way it's implemented currently. But I suppose it's a way. We could implement a we could say private bool done is false, and then done is true, and over here we will just say public task wait until done, I think. And then move the logic of the loop here. So while not done, like await or task.delay. You can just run it like this. And then return task.completed. So we can do that, and then here we can say await Azure login form dot wait until done. That's essentially the same thing. So we can say await here. It's also most probably the same thing, isn't it? Let's just keep it like this. This should work. of course. Now just need to cancel that one. Okay, so sign in again. Okay, signed in. So that works. Alright, so if this first thing that we can do is get this my information page. Maybe we can remove backup or restore. I don't think that is necessary, I would say. So my information, and that's the company information, right? So what is this thing doing? Excuse me. So we'll make a checkpoint here. So made Azure AD working. Work using bodied login form. So we can actually reuse this form for any other things. For instance, displaying the organization. Okay, so first of all, let's clean up this code a bit here. We have this logging with Azure AD. So let's see if we can change this code, this HTTP client code, to something more strongly typed. Get the profiles, the groups, and the organizations. And it kind of should have a repository for all of these things. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So the way we do that, it's not really in data, is it? Could be. Maybe it is, actually. Okay, so we have a repository already, like this get all, create, and delete. And this is int. So what happens if we create a new one? Because in essence we have these settings. Let me think. HTTP client. There's a difference here because we have a client and then we have a data layer. And I think it's different. So we could wrap this up in a client. And so do this clients. We're gonna make a graph client. So create a class. We say Azure or Microsoft Graph Client. Actually, I think there should be a library for that, if I'm not mistaken. So let's just quickly double check that. There we go. Okay, so this is how this works. So how do we get this going? Where's .NET? That should work. SDK, full application, begin. Okay, register, add authentication. All these things work, get calendar data. So we have that, graph service client. Cool. So I wonder if we can make use of this rather instead. Because instead of writing your own, you just use these ones. This should sit ideally in an infrastructure project. Okay, so what do we have here? Graph service client. So we have okay, so let's see. So we want to replace this now with the service client. Let's just kill all the tabs. Put our startup. We could add this as a singleton. let's add graph service client. Okay, so that's a singleton now. And we can inject this by going to the constructor, which is main. This one can be. Do I inject my service provider here? That's not really right. Why do I inject my service provider? That's not really what I want. Let's change it back to that. Let's just see if this works still, because I have no idea if it will work. Of course. Okay, this works. Connect. This works. Okay. The singleton, I guess, works. So I'm gonna make sure everything works still fine, as expected. That works fine, yeah. Okay. Now we can go to the main and let's inject the graph service client. And we'll create a read-only. Come now. In there. I want to go to a login with AD. Okay. Okay, so when this happens, now I'm going to be using my service client. So graph service client, I believe it's graph, that app catalogs, applications. How does this work? Does this have initialize? No, it does not. So how do we have that? The service provider. This is what we have. Cool. This is the required function to implement iAuthentication provider. The graph is will call this function each time it makes a graph call. Wow. Okay, so this is interesting. So we need this. Authenticate authentication provider. Wow. It's interesting. So let's create an authentication provider to see what it does. Just create a new one. Maybe under security. Let's just call it Azure for now. Cool. Okay, so this will call. Cool. So it will call this guy. Every time. As this get access token, it's there. Okay. This will do the OAuth dance. So public class Azure AD authentication provider, I would say. For lack of a better word. And then we can move this header here . So I almost need to go now, so I need to quickly finish up. We have this authentication provider. So I'm going to quickly implement this and then I need to go. Get access token. Why is this thing? Okay, now we need to see if we can put this whole login with Azure AD in here. this whole thing we can actually put in here. Logging a few things. There's a service provider, so what we can do is we can just inject this guy in here. That's one there. And just add that. And we say, what's it called again? Azure login URI. Azure, that one. I need to go. Guys, speak to you again. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry to do this, but I need to head out. Thank you for watching. Sorry about this. I need to go. Cheers. Where's my intro now?